Kaya.
And I'm Lisa. And we're shooting some videos off at the moment about the feminine alchemy of collaboration. And in this video, we thought we'd talk about another one of the key pieces, the key players in having a true collaborative partnership going on your project. And that's the concept of project management. So in another lifetime, before children, I was a project manager on a large multi-million-dollar project with the teams under me and doing that whole corporate thing. And I did have all those traditional masculine project management tools and structures and processes in place. And that is not the type of project management that Kaya and I use at all. Not even slightly. In fact, it's just we've let go of more and more of it over the years.
We discovered that it didn't work for us.
It totally didn't work for us. So initially we did try to use all those project management skills, and we did all the yearly, like twice a year, have a planning day and sit down and get all our projections and our timelines and everything
Our
going.
goals, our concrete goals.
Yeah. And it was fun when we did them. Like the day that we did it, we were all psyched up and like, yeah. But it totally did not sustain us. It didn't keep us excited. It didn't keep us in momentum.
And it didn't acknowledge spontaneous intuitive flow, which is how we operate. And so that came in anyway, and that overtook all of the project management plans that we had.
Yeah. And so we just kept letting go of more and more of it because it wasn't working for us and we weren't enjoying it, and we always tried to keep ourselves in a space of joy in our business. So we let more and more of that go, and so that left us with, well, how do we most want to work? And both of us wanted to work from a very intuitive space. So then we were like, okay, so if we're going to be intuitive, that's kind of easy to do when you're by yourself. How do we do that collaboratively together so that we're still in partnership? And over time, and in the last few years, we've nailed it right down, and we're really excited to teach it. But we do have a method now that allows us to both be in our intuitive flow all the time. And we're going to give you like 3 of the main pieces here and now so you get an idea of the model. So the first piece in this is intention. So when Kaya and I get together to do any visioning, we sit down and we need to get really clear on what are the intentions that are lighting us up? What is the project that is most calling to us? What is constantly whispering at us? Me. To get us clear on what ballpark we're sitting in and where we need to go. And this collaboration project is exactly like that. So when this came up to us, we realized this year that our collaboration and the magic that we've created over and over and over again now over several years isn't like just the norm, and that it was something that it took us time to evolve and develop, and that it's so magical now. And we realized this year how many other women would benefit from that, how many other women would be able to birth amazing things in the world if they got together with someone else and created this magical alchemy together. And so we thought this is something we could totally teach, and we sat with the intentions for it. And as we were talking, the energy for it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so we knew between the two of us, if we were both really excited about it, that's for us the right direction to go. So that's like intention.
Yeah, and as Lisa was saying about bringing intuition and bringing flow in, like that intention can come sometimes a bit out of left field. Like we could have had a plan to run a completely different program, and that was kind of in our heads, and because we'd planned it before and it felt alive before, we might be kind of like stubbornly stuck to doing that. But like say while I'm in the shower, or well, like when throughout the day, both of us keep getting little whispers, or one of us does, and we always create space to let those whispers come in. If that's come in enough times, we bring it in. We let each other know, this is what's speaking to me. And we let something like that become the intention, because that's where the energy's going, because we can feel the aliveness there. Even though it's not what was on our projected plan, it's coming to us, so we follow it.
Yeah. And sometimes even when it doesn't seem logical, like our plan, our schedule had like all these other releases and all this stuff happening, and we were like, yeah, but this is what has to happen now. And we were both clear on that. And so that energy, so that intention is our first piece.
Yeah, and we've learnt that it's actually really important to follow that. Like we've learnt that is often where the big growths in our business happen. When we follow the intentions that want us to follow them, even if it doesn't make sense. Like it's one of the keys to our successes.
Yeah. And so the second piece in this intuitive collaborative project management is commitments. So rather than projected timelines and resource loading and all those pieces that you do traditionally, Kaya and I need to get really clear on what we're committing to, on what we're wanting to birth, on what our pieces are in it. And so those are between the intention and the commitment, those are the pieces that hold us aligned, that hold us like always ready to keep moving forwards. And so then we get into the piece, well, how do we keep moving forwards? How do we stay in momentum if we're not following all these timelines? How do we keep moving in a way that actually gets all this stuff birthed and out into the world and feels intuitive, honouring two sets of intuition? And the way that we do that is, there's a few moving pieces, but to simplify it here, there's probably two pieces that we could talk about. And the first one is following the inspired action. And so that means following the one thing at a time that is your 10, that is your big thing that you're feeling called to do. I want to get that email out, or I want to post about this on Facebook, or I want to shoot a video on this, or whatever it is. It's that one piece that is like, yeah, this is the bit I want to do, that feels exciting.
And it's usually feels really exciting, feels really alive, and also feels really important. Like the things that maybe you might think, oh, but then I'd just do that. I'd ignore all the things that weren't fun. Like those things speak loudly too. So it feels energetically good to get them done. So that they come up in those 10s as well.
They'll definitely come up in your 10s as well. And then the second piece around this is communication. So in a really good collaboration, you need great conscious communication between all the moving parts, but between you and your sister. And so depending on where you are in the business and whether you're, like, for example, if you're in the middle of launching something or really putting something out into a public space, then your communication has to be like quite a lot. And if you're just run-of-the-mill week in, week out, in your routine, then your communication may be spaced a little bit. But the communication itself is sacred and is super important. And when you're dealing with birthing something, your communication of the 10s, for Kaya and I, it's pretty much a daily thing. Yeah. It's pretty much every day, what's your 10? We've shortcut it, but that's what's your 10? And we check in with each other, and we're always encouraging each other to just stay in the 10. Just stay in the 10. But we're always communicating it with each other.
Yeah, and we always have the space to communicate if something changes. Like if it's this is not feeling like a 10 anymore, or here's something that's coming up, or here's a doubt that I have, or when your energy feels slightly off. Like we bring space in for that as well, which is a part of the intuitive flow. Like it's, you don't have to keep ploughing ahead on a predetermined path, which we'll talk about more in another video, but that kind of welcoming all the communication is really vital.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's like a really loose, there's a lot of working parts, and when we go into teaching the class on it, we're obviously going to go into all the detail and actually support everyone moving forward using that model. But for now, that's a really good framework for you to start wrapping your head around how you could do it differently without all these calendars and timelines and projections and all those pieces that might be fun to plan but then leave you really cold in the implementation. And instead, this model will honour your intuition. It will honour true collaboration in intuition. It will honour space and room for the universe to step in and guide, and for the soul of the business, the soul of your project to step in and guide. And it is a space that creates magic and creates flow.
And creativity. It honours spontaneity as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's a bit of an evil word in project management. Yeah, so if that's something that lights you up, if you're like, yeah, I would love a different way to get my stuff out into the world, then look for the link below the video here. There'll be one. And you can go and check out all the details on the new program that Kaya and I are about to birth into the world, which we're really excited about. And you can connect with us on that page. At the bottom, there's a form where you can reach out to us. And if you are interested, then either Kaya or I, one of us, will go through a full coaching session with you and your collaborative partner. And together, we'll support you to vision your project, to go deeper, to look at it from an intuitive space, a feminine space, a space of energy and magic. And if that's something that lights you up, then we would love to connect.
Absolutely.
And so until next time, bye-bye.
Okay, so the first one is... Oh, sorry, I've lost it.
Good old intention, the root of all.